Hi, I'm Dr. Timothy Yen, clinical psychologist and author of Choose Better. Welcome to Choose Better in Real Life, where we have honest conversations about the decisions that shape our relationships, careers, and personal growth. You'll leave each conversation with practical insights to help you live with greater purpose, clarity, and intention. Your Choosing Better starts now. So, in our Choose Better series, summer edition, we're going to focus more specifically on parents with teenage kids, which is a little bit different than maybe our kids who are a bit younger, because teens are kind of like mini versions of adults. And as much as parents may want to spend time with their teenagers, the teenagers may not want to spend time with you, and yet they're still your children, so they still want to be connected with, supported. So we're going to try to navigate that space together and figuring out kind of what that can look like for parents with teenagers. But to start us off, Hadi, tell us a little bit about what kind of teen were you when you think back?
Not to talk good about myself, but
talk good about yourself. If you're good, you're good. Just say it.
I think I was very easy teen for my parents. I was all involved with education. So I was like leaving the house at 7 and coming back at 6 p.m. and very into education. And I think my parents, if they see it, they can,
attest to that.
Attest to that, exactly.
That you're their favorite child.
I should be, absolutely. So I think it was pretty easy for them from academic, absolutely. They never had an issue with me.
Yeah.
Sometimes siblings, issues and fighting with each other, of course.
Sure.
But I think I had a smooth, very kind of okay teenage.
Okay. Time. Well, I wish I'd spice your stories, but maybe my teenage
That's
story.
That's the time to confess now.
Confession is now. I was a terrible child. I would say that as a teenager, I earned a lot of brownie points early on in my childhood. I'm kind of neurotic and overly responsible, and I took care of my stuff. And so I earned the credits to get away with things as a teenager because my parents trusted me. Cool. Not to say I did anything outlandishly crazy, but the idea around wanting independence for sure was like a strong value of mine, where I didn't want to stay home very much. I wanted to be out with my friends and doing different things. So that is definitely a core part of my teenage years. And lucky for me, my parents allowed me to do that.
That's good.
Not lucky for my sister, who I don't know if it's a gender role, cultural thing, but they had it on lock. She was a good kid, but she wasn't really allowed to do much of anything during the middle school, high school days. Yeah. But I really want to talk about just developmental stages and kind of what are normal teenager behaviors that maybe as parents we would think, that seems sketchy, kind of questionable.
Yeah. So I think it's a very good question, because that causes a lot of tension and conflict between parents if they don't understand if it's healthy or not.
Yeah.
What they're doing. So one of the main things that happens is teenagers start looking and seeking autonomy. They want to be independent, and that's normal. So
yes.
It's normal for their, age. And this autonomy, parents sometimes interpret it as, are you against me? You don't like my parenting? You don't like my values? No, they're just learning to be more independent, to be able to take care of themselves
and figure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If we just suppress that, they don't learn how to take care of themselves in the society, right? So don't worry and don't panic, parents, about why they just all of a sudden are kind of defiant about some of the rules. They push boundaries.
Yes.
They want to test it to see how it works. But if you fight with them, I always say, if you fight with your teenager, it's like you're losing the battle here.
You're losing the relationship. And what's the point of working so hard if they hate you now?
And no one wins. Exactly. You might just suppress them and just listen in the moment, but they're not learning anything, and then you lose the relationship, right?
It's interesting, because I think about the dream kids that a lot of parents want, dream teens, which is super obedient, respectful. Exactly. They pretty much never have an opinion of their own. Just in Chinese, we call it guai. Guai hides it. Like, it's a very compliant child. And on paper, what parent would not want that kind of child? But there is this kind of dark side to it, because a lot of those kids end up struggling a lot
True.
because they were never really invited to have a voice or opinion. They didn't
Yeah.
form opinions. They're just like, well, I seem to get the most accolades by doing what I'm told. And then they get released into college and they just are
wild and
lost. Yeah, they just don't know. Well, tell me what to do. What should I eat? People are like, what's wrong with you? Eat whatever you want. And in the worst case scenario, they find some not so good friends that tell them what to do that aren't really good for them. So all that to be said, we want to encourage them having a voice, having opinions, sharing their perspectives, even if they're different from the parents.
Let them be independent, but remind them about boundaries.
Yes. Tell me more about how to set those boundaries, what those boundaries may look like so that it's still mutually respectful. I hope you're finding today's conversation helpful. If you would like to keep going deeper, I've created a variety of resources to support you on your journey. On my website, you'll find articles on mental health, relationships, parenting, leadership, and personal growth. You can also take one of my assessments to better understand where you are and identify practical next steps. For a deeper dive, download my free ebook or pick up a copy of Choose Better, where I walk through the complete framework in greater detail. You can also connect with me on social media for more practical insights, short videos, and conversations to help you apply these ideas in everyday life. And if you're looking for more personalized support, you'll find information about counseling, coaching, workshops, and additional resources. Everything is linked below. Now, let's get back to the conversation.
A big component in parenting with teenagers is communication.
It is.
They're old enough to hear you, understand you. They might not agree with you. Don't panic. Let them just, the reason we're saying these boundaries are good for you because of this, this, and that. What's your opinion? And let them be involved with the rules and policies that you're making. We need to switch control to cooperation.
Yeah, I think the analogy is that as kids get older, even our roles as parents become more like a coach where we're giving them guidance. We are transparent about what our thoughts about certain things, but we also have to give them some space to make their own mistakes, figure some of those things out. But then there's like hard lines where we're like, maybe trying heroin's like not the thing that I would encourage because you may or may not come back from some of these experiences. But then there's this kind of gray area where we want them to discover and explore.
And part of that, and also back to your question you mentioned about the healthy kind of reactions or developmental stages of the kid, teenagers at this age, is they would distance a little bit from parents. And that's very normal.
Yeah.
Don't be stressed why they do this. And they're very more into peers' impact.
Why is that?
They are under the influence of the society. And they want to be approved and accepted by network that they're involved with.
People that are closer to their age, more relevant.
Exactly, right? And that's very healthy for them as long as it's not breaking the boundaries.
Right.
Because they can, as you mentioned, go to the drug to be approved by, no, that's wrong. And as long as and research shows they go to peers day to day, but they still, if the relationship with parents are healthy and good, they go back to parents for good and big decisions. What major, what is school, what things, because they still trust parents for big decisions. They're just, I guess, exploring the society. Before it was just me, mommy, and daddy. Now it's me and someone else, stranger, that I want them to like me. That goes with also hormonal changes.
Sure.
That goes with a lot of uncertainty about my future. I'm talking to a lot of teenagers, very uncertain about identity crisis time. What's going to happen to me? I'm falling behind. What about the future? What if I can do this? These are all part of normal things, right? What I was said, as you mentioned, give them space and privacy and respect, right? If you help them to have a healthy transition during this time, they'll come back to you healthy.
That's right.
This is a very critical time. If they don't have a healthy transition, you're going to have a very hard early adulthood with your children. So even for the sake of yourself, family, and them, I know it's very difficult, by the way, for parents, because sometimes they feel like everything is in danger. What if they do something wrong? What if so-and-so? You are there. You have discipline. You have rules and so-and-so. But you also understand their needs. And you can communicate. And that would help the teenager at least to see, you understand me. You want to have a different opinion. But they have to learn to respect the rules and policies and kind of discipline that is in the house too.
Yeah, I remember Andy Stanley, he said that the marker of success as a parent is when your children leave the house and they want to come back and see you again.
Yes.
And that means that you have that bond, that kind of
Exactly.
relationship.
Yes.
And that is contingent on how well parents are able to shift into more of this coach, not necessarily friend, but coach role.
Yeah.
And conveying that there is some level of mutual respect and interest in their voice.
Yeah.
So, Hadi, tell me a little bit about what happens when the feedback that parents are getting is that the teens seem kind of nonchalant. They don't seem particularly interested in talking to you. They're kind of maybe 6 feet deep in their phone. How can we emotionally support teens when they don't seem like they're all that interested?
Yeah. So the first thing I do is that if that's to this extent, what is happening? What's going on? Why they're feeling this way? From a therapist perspective, is something going on in their life? Is it too much stress? Is it hopelessness? Is it depression? Is it anxiety? If parents see that normal day-to-day things and advice not working, I definitely recommend the therapy. This is a critical age for teenagers. They can't regulate their emotion. They don't know what's going on. They don't know why they're so worried about things around them. So one of the best things I can tell the parents: be careful with the house environment. If the house environment, that's what I hear every day. If the house environment is toxic, if mom and dad are fighting with each other every day, that directly affected the teenager, right?
Yeah.
And this is very toxic for them. And I know marital issues are there and so on and so, but as best as you can, just like don't let the kids be affected by that, right?
They say the best gift beyond what programs you sign them up for or presents that you buy them is a healthy, vibrant marriage. That is the best gift that you can give your children.
Exactly. They want to see mom and dad happy, right? So the other thing is that try to understand them and let them be themselves and communicate with you about their fears without being judged. And here's one of the things I've seen. I can say the biggest mistakes of parents.
Oh, I'm ready.
Right?
Tell me, what is the biggest mistake?
Let's pause the next episode. You see the movies, they pause in the best part.
Cliffhanger. Sorry, you have to watch again. All right, what is the biggest mistakes that parents make?
Every single, they have an opportunity to their teenager, it becomes an advice.
Which means they're not.
Exactly. It becomes a mentor.
Yes.
Okay, sweetheart, let me tell you, you need to do this. You need to do that. You need to, don't do that. And I see that it comes out of passion and love and care.
Good intentions.
Yes. But to be honest, that doesn't matter because I'm done. It's too much.
Well, you're not listening, clearly.
I literally had a girl says, Mom, I don't want to spend time with you because every single time is a class for me. It's too much burden. I don't want to listen to that anymore,
lecture,
right? And the mom is like, no, sweetie, I love you. It's like, I don't care.
I believe you, and I don't want this version of love. It's too much.
And sometimes we have to see even adults. Imagine your spouse comes to the house, and every single time they're telling you, why is it there? You shouldn't have done this. Why are you sitting this way?
It's critical.
Why the dishes are dirty? Why? It's like, I'm done. Adults cannot. And then we do it sometimes.
We do.
To our children.
Yeah.
Right? And then children are like, I'm done. I don't want to. That ruins the relationship. They don't learn anything. They don't want to follow what you're saying. It's just like,
that's it.
This is an equation I have. This is a percentage I have. 80% they talk, 20% you talk.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
We're just listeners.
If not 90-10.
Exactly. I will say that too.
Yeah.
Right? So be a good listener when it comes to your kids, specifically teenagers, right?
Yes.
Let them have the autonomy to talk, to explain. You parents have so much valuable advices. Don't just sell it out if they don't want to get it right away.
Pearls before swine. Right? They're not ready for it. They're not ready for it.
They'll just go give them little bit by little. Let them see what you're saying. Bombarding them with a lot of advice doesn't work with anyone.
No, well said. And so kind of in closing, when it comes to connecting with teens, being able to foster emotional safety, where critical, judgmental energy is the opposite of emotional safety. Exactly. Teens are not going to volunteer to be put in that kind of scrutiny. So one of the biggest gifts that we can give as parents, it's like, hey, I love you no matter what. And I believe in your process and what you need to figure out. I also love you too much to not tell you what I do know. Correct. But that is only after I hear you out, I validate, I understand where you're coming from. Then from that place, I might have that 20% or 10% to just share a thought, plant the seed, and then let our teams take that and metabolize it, live it out, consider it, don't consider it, and learn kind of in their own way. And in that we protect the most valuable thing, which is the relationship.
Exactly.
So, thanks for joining me for another episode of Choose Better in Real Life. Remember, meaningful change doesn't happen all at once. It happens one better decision at a time. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe and don't miss future episodes. And if you would like to continue growing, explore the free resources, assessments, ebook, and my book, Choose Better, using the links below. Until next time, keep choosing better.